They say moving out to the country is supposed to be peaceful. That's what everyone tells you anyway. Fresh start, birds chirping, wide open spaces, supposed to be the dream, right? That dream came crashing down about 10 minutes after I hauled the last moving box off the truck, when a woman I'd never seen before came stomping across my front yard like she was collecting a bounty. She's waving papers around, shouting at me about illegal occupation, voice echoing off the side of my brand new, not in any HOA farmhouse. And in that moment, standing ankle deep in cardboard boxes and optimism, I realized some people were just born to make trouble. Look, I picked this house after years of hunting for a place that was truly mine. Not just on paper, but for real. I went down every rabbit hole, checked deeds from the 1870s, had 3 attorneys double-check the county maps, even called title insurance twice just to be sure. This land, it's as free from HOA control as land can get. I wanted a place where nobody, and I mean nobody, could tell me what shade of blue to paint the shutters, or how many blades of grass should be showing at any given moment. But here she was, strutting up to my truck with her clipboard and folder like she owned the joint. I half expected her to introduce herself as the mayor. Instead, she stops so close I can smell her perfume, something sharp, expensive, like she was heading into a courtroom, and barks out, "Sir, I'm Karen Mitchell, president of Maplewood Heights HOA. This property requires immediate compliance." It's the kind of line that honestly almost made me laugh. But there was something in the way she squared her shoulders like she was ready to call in the cavalry if I so much as sneezed out of turn. That's the thing with people like her. They've got this certainty, this confidence in their own made-up authority that would make a judge jealous. At first, I tried to keep it civil. Offered her my thick folder full of records, surveys, legal opinions, county lines, all of it. Gave her the benefit of the doubt because, hey, maybe boundaries changed and I missed it, right? I'm an engineer. I believe in data and facts and giving folks a fair shot to prove their point. But Karen, she barely glanced at my stack before declaring, "Your documentation is incorrect. This property's been in violation for years." You ever have someone say something so bold, so completely disconnected from reality, you start to question your own memory? That half second of doubt hit me, and then it passed because, let's face it, I know how many nights I spent poring over these records. If there's one thing I'm sure about, it's this. This house isn't in any HOA. Reasonable people, when shown official documents, will at least look. Maybe ask a question, maybe suggest we double-check with the county. Not Karen. She just waved her own folder at me like she was holding nuclear launch codes and insisted those records are outdated. I have current HOA authority maps. The crazy part, her papers looked fancy on the surface. But as soon as my eyes focused, the flaws jumped out. Blurry edges, mismatched fonts, seals that looked like they'd been peeled off a children's sticker sheet. Like a costume, you know, convincing from a distance but ridiculous up close. Right about then, Judy came outside. She's my wife, teaches high school, which means she's immune to drama and can smell nonsense from a mile away. Karen switched gears instantly, turning to Judy, trying that community pressure routine. Non-compliance affects everyone's property values, ma'am. Classic guilt trip with a side of don't you want to fit in. But Judy's sharp. She takes the papers, glances at them, asks, "Where are the originals?" And right there, Karen's whole act crumbled. She started shouting about illegal questioning and residents not interrogating board decisions like asking for proof was the same as robbing a bank. You know what the word illegal means? It means something actually breaks the law. Not you made me uncomfortable, not you disagreed with me. But Karen tossed it around like it was a fire blanket, throw it over any question, hope it smothers the truth. So I suggested we call the county office together, get it cleared up. If she was right, the records would back her up. If not, we'd be done. Simple. But no, she went red in the face and shot back, "County records are irrelevant. HOA authority supersedes all documentation." That's when I realized logic wasn't going to win here. Karen was living in her own universe. She storms off, still muttering illegal under her breath like she's casting a spell. But in her huff, she drops a receipt. Not an HOA form, not a legal notice, a receipt from Print Palace Document Services. 20 custom HOA boundary update prints ordered yesterday. There it was, proof she was inventing her own authority, printing her own paperwork. My blood boiled, but there was something almost impressive in the audacity. The next morning, I couldn't let it go. I called the actual HOA, figured I'd clear this up quick. The woman on the phone, office manager, tells me, "We've never had a Karen Mitchell on our board. Our president is David Chen. Sends me the official roster within minutes. There's no mistake. If Karen was lying about being president, what else was she lying about? I started digging through her digital trail. She'd worked as an office manager until 8 months ago, then nothing. Around the same time, her social media turned into a parade of rants about community standards and property values, and on the local forums, dozens of posts, all from Karen, all about violations, all pushing fines. Turns out a bunch of neighbors had paid up. 50 here, 75 there. I found payment records, mailbox, fine, garden violation, fence correction. She was running her own little empire on fear and fake paperwork. And then Bob, my new neighbor, caught me outside. "So you met her," he says, shaking his head. Turns out Karen had tried this on half the street. He'd paid her $60 for a supposed mailbox infraction. Mrs. Peterson across the way, 40 for a garden gnome. The group chat was full of stories, everyone too polite or too wary to call her out. Until now. I took the Print Palace receipt down to the shop. The clerk, barely out of college, knew her right away. Oh yeah, she comes in all the time. Wants everything to look official, laminated, color match the works. He showed me the order history. Not just maps, she was printing fake violation letters, fake board minutes, entire stacks of made-up documents. Always cash, always in a rush. So I set up a camera. Just a basic security cam on my property, nothing sneaky. That night caught her on video marching up, slipping a violation in my mailbox, taking pictures for her evidence. Methodical, rehearsed, like she'd done it 100 times. The next time Karen called demanding a $200 compliance fee, or else I went along. Asked for the full packet, board minutes, appeals forms, even contact info for the other board members. She showed up the next morning, business suit, wheeled briefcase, like she was about to give a TED talk. She spread out all her fakes across my kitchen table. Made up meeting notes, fake fine schedules, even letters supposedly from concerned neighbors. All of it shiny and stamped. If you didn't know better, you'd think it was legit. But every time I asked to verify something like a real board would expect, she dodged. Confidential, illegal to request, internal matters, classic. That's when I showed my hand. Karen, I've got you on video making these documents, planting fake violations. And the real HOA says you're a stranger to them. She went ballistic. Illegal surveillance. I'm calling the police, out to the driveway, dialing 911. By then, half the street had their blinds open watching the show. The officers who showed up took their time, listened to both of us. She put on the performance of her life, accused me of being an illegal occupant, handed over her fake folder, rattled off a list of violations so long you'd think I was running a meth lab. But my folder had the real stuff. Deeds, lawyer letters, video evidence. And when the police called David Chen at the real HOA, that was that. Karen wasn't just out of bounds, she was out of the game. She lost it screaming about conspiracies, waving her papers, accusing the police of corruption. That's when it stopped being funny. Watching her unravel, I realized she really believed her own story, or needed to for her own sake. But you know what? Truth has a way of winning out. The police pressed charges, fraud, forgery, impersonating an official. The local news caught wind of it thanks to a viral video Mrs. Peterson shot during the big HOA meeting, where Karen finally went full meltdown, yelling at the real president while everyone else watched in disbelief. That clip, I'm told, got almost 300,000 views in 2 days. Not exactly how I planned on introducing myself to the neighborhood. The court ordered Karen to pay everyone back, attend therapy, and spend 200 hours doing actual community service at a real HOA, where she'd learn what real authority looks like. 6 months later, I heard she was working admin at a real estate office, finally using her attention to detail for something above board. The best part, the neighborhood changed. The real HOA put up a website, made all their board members' info public. County started a fraud reporting hotline. Even the print shop checks IDs now before making anything that looks official. It's safer for everyone. Sitting here months later, coffee in hand, Judy next to me, I can't help but shake my head at it all. The phrase illegal has become a joke around here. Someone tries to flex a little too much power. We just smirk. Careful, that's illegal, and everyone gets the reference. Truth is, there was a time I'd have let someone like Karen walk all over me. Avoid the fight, just pay the fine, move on. But not anymore. Once you see how easy it is for fake authority to take hold, you realize somebody's got to stand up. Somebody's got to ask for the paperwork, check, the facts push back. So now I ask, where do you draw the line? When's the last time you saw someone faking their way to the top, making up rules as they go? Ever wish you'd called them out, or did you, and what happened next? Don't keep it to yourself. Tell the story. That's how the spell breaks, and that's how maybe we get a little bit closer to real justice in the world.